what was it that you were hoping to show when you went into those hotels?
So there was nothing that I was like intentionally trying to like show. There was just obviously in my mind like the whole of the what felt like the whole of the UK had this like narrative in their mind of what was going on in these hotels, but no one had actually been in there and found out. And I think like the government didn't really like let people know either much of what was going on. Maybe the information was there, but what we were getting forced down our throats by like the Tommy Robinsons and all this shit on Twitter that we see. Um, was just out there more than anything else. So then I wanted to actually see what went on once I was in there. And then I didn't feel like anyone had actually spoke to the migrants themselves and found out like what they're actually like doing here, what their backstories, why they're here, what do they actually want to do. So I just thought I'd go in and see what was actually going on.
And
But there wasn't like a certain agenda.
no,
Like,
sure, okay. So you weren't trying to put. You were just there to see what you could find, which is, a very responsible thing to do. So, what did you find that surprised you? Either way, upside, downside, negative, positive, whatever.
the main thing that shocked me was how like they were all kind of like depressed and like I feel like they they basically I feel like they have the version of like the American dream but the British edition. And they think like they're gonna come here and like their life's just gonna be like completely sorted. And a lot of them, what they want to do is work. Because obviously, like naturally, people want a purpose. Like
Hmm.
people want to do something. And when I got to the hotel, like everyone, like all these like little counselors say that scruffs on Facebook think like they're sat there living this luxury life when they're not. Half of them are seeing like the doctors for depression and stuff because they've obviously risked their life going through traumatic situations at sea, and then they just sat in a hotel room like, and they're not allowed to do anything else, just sit in their room every single day. It's literally that same day on repeat for them.
Yes. Although, I wonder then when you heard about what they were leaving behind, did you get a sense that these were people fleeing from immediate danger to their lives, or that they were coming here to look to work because this is a rich country and there are opportunities here?
It was every single person I'd spoke to had fled. There was not a single person that I had personally spoke to that was like, oh, I just wanted to come here to work. Like, there was a kid who I met that was 13-year-old when he flew is from his country, and it took him 2 years to get to England, and it was because he lost all his family in the war. And but his main priority now was to like get a degree and work. He wanted to become a dentist. But every single person, it was both like they flee the country for a reason, like for danger or whatever, and then they want to come here and they wanted to work because they just want something to do.
Sure.
They don't want to sit there and do nothing.
I guess the response back to them might have to be there are routes for people to come and able to work in this country, legal routes for people to do that. Should it be that this country allows people to come here and work just because they've arrived here?
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think they have to get approved first. They have to get approved. Well, when I spoke to them, they said that they have to wait for they have an interview,
Yeah.
and then they have to get approved. And then once they get approved, that's when they're like eligible to work. But even from then, a lot of them don't even get approved, and that's when they have to go back.
But do you
And
think
then
do you think they should be approved to work from the moment they arrive in the hotel?
no, because that's the whole concept of what everyone thinks that they're just letting in all these undocumented people and just letting them roam free and like cause chaos in the UK, which isn't the case. I think they look at everyone's case by case basis and the background and what they're actually like here for, and then they accept them or decline them. If you just accepted everyone who went over the border, then you would have all these problems that people are talking about. But I just want to say like this whole conception of like these people that people think that like all these people are risking their lives at sea to like come and rape white British within like that. There's white people in France, and trust me, they're a lot better looking. The term UK beat exists for a reason. People aren't coming here traveling land and seas. Like they literally risk their life at sea to like work in the UK, and then there's like people in the UK that climb in lampposts and people like William the Conqueror.
Well, yes, I can see that people want to come here and work. There are routes to be able to do that legally. You don't have to get on a boat and come here to be able to work here. And I guess that's one of the problems is determining who is actually in dire need and needs asylum and who is actually just here to work, even if they come from a country that's terrible.
Well, I think the case is that if they did, there's a lot of them who don't have the option of coming by plane because there's a guy that I met from Ukraine. He was an Afghani, but he was a Ukrainian citizen. And I asked him, why didn't you come by plane then? Because surely if you're from Ukraine, the UK wouldn't have had an issue with you coming because they were literally paying you British people to keep taking Ukrainian refugees for their case. So he said that they bombed the airport of where he was from, so he had no choice but to flee. And he had to flee, and it was just like immediate danger, so he had to leave. And then once you're traveling to different countries illegally, I feel like you have to score the full route, don't you?
So, what would you say then to someone who would be nervous about having an asylum hotel near to where they live?
But what reason is there to be nervous? What, that they're brown?
No, that people don't know who they are.
But you don't know who anyone is. There's people born in this country that live down the road from you that could be a serial killer.
So, if you assume that everybody is a threat, then anybody you don't know is going to be a threat.
Well, it's the same for everyone. Everyone's just human, aren't they? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just because they've came from a different country, that they what you think that moment when you cross the city that it just turns you into like some raging serial killer rapist. That's not what happens. And there's not some powers in the like English channel that just changes the way people are all of a sudden. And then I want to say this as well. When I posted the video, everyone was automatically going, oh yeah, no women and children. Oh my God, it's all men. All these women and children, where are they? There is separate hotels for women and children and families that they keep. Obviously, it's safer to keep the grown men in a separate hotel and the women and children in a separate hotel. I didn't go into a women and children's hotel, obviously, because it's safer to film the grown men. Like, I thought that was common sense that people just don't have, but that's people who don't even watch the video. They just saw a little clip on like Instagram and TikTok, and they just jump on like feeding their narrative, like whatever they
For
want.
those people who are worried or who would be worried about having a migrant hotel near to them, shouldn't be because no one's a threat or it's all going to be fine or these people are just looking for work, in your experience?
I think you can't just assume that anyone's gonna just do the worst. Like, you can't live like that. Yeah, there's bad people out there, and yeah, there has been cases where people have came um, and done fuck shit once, well, done bad stuff as soon as they've like crossed. But then people should be deported. I'm not advocating for like, yes, let everyone come in. Like, that's not my. I just wanted to show both sides of things and like listen to their side of things. I didn't hear one person who had like a bad intention of being here or wanted to abuse any sort of system. It all felt to me like every single person was just desperate to provide something, to do something, to like add to the economy in some way, more than them people who spend their weekends and week evenings protesting outside.